Let's get started. Let's get started. What's on everyone's watch list today? The markets are shaping up to be a lot more clearer than obviously the start of the week. What's on everyone's watch list?
AUD and Standard & Poor's. Good morning, Diego, and everyone.
Pardon? What did you say?
AUD and Standard & Poor's 500.
Okay, nice. That's okay. Decent. Cool. Dave, dollar, yen, and Aussie. Well, decent, similar to me. Troy, Aussie, and Euro. Oh, there's a trade on Euro. Yeah, interesting. I can't really see anything. SP 500 shorts. Connor, I'm just going to call you SP 500 from now on. Let me get into it. I'm gonna. Actually, you know what? We've got good time today. Okay. DXY. Just a quick, brief count. Analysis. What do we have? Obviously, we're inside this ascending channel, and we do have this particular flag followed by the bearish momentum, right? We've got bearish momentum. It's quite weak actually, but there was compression here. There was a break of structure, and now we do have some form of a correction. I am expecting price to do two things: either a boomerang of this pattern, or because of the compression at around here, there's a chance that it might not even reach it, and it will just continue going south to pick up some liquidity from these equal lows. And from here, we can reevaluate in case there may be, maybe some pattern here, then it could rally, then we can update the pattern accordingly, or there could be a strong break and complete a third tap boomerang of this pattern. So that's the game plan on the dollar. So expecting shorts from here, shorts on target, or shorts towards this boomerang, or one more push to the upside for a boomerang and then a short. So that's a game plan really, which is pretty clean, pretty clear. And that's the advantage of just having multiple plans. You're just prepared for it. So let me just do an arrow from around here. Yeah, these are sort of the entries and the exits. And then we can reevaluate. There is obviously this banker block boomerang territory that we're expecting. So that's the game plan. Obviously, the long term, we're expecting all these trend line to get here and the banker block. If we zoom out on the dollar, we can see that actually a lot going on just above us. But for now, let's focus on the relevant price action. Try nothing clean on EU. Okay, yeah, brilliant. Same here, nothing really clean as well. Okay. Yeah, that's the dollar. Cool. Let's get on to. Oh, I forgot to change the name. Okay, anyway. So that's the dollar, euro. What's happening with euro? Euro. Well, to be honest, it's just some equal lows here, to be fair. And this is why I wasn't too excited about this break, because it was a liquidity grab. Look, very weak breakout on the trend line and a very weak breakout of the structure. So it's just a liquidity grab. We're still within a range. There is nothing clean at all with the euro, and we're just waiting for this point of interest or the banker block, or maybe even further downside. Let me just add some members to the team. Okay. Okay, before we continue further on, I can see there's some new names. Welcome, first of all, to BLT. Can I just quickly, if you can just quickly ask in the chat box anything that you may be struggling with or you need more clarification, I can quickly just do a quick tip for you guys. So you just write something down and I'll just pick a random topic. Or if you just want to watch the analysis, it's fine, just leave it like that. Okay, cool. Let me just get into, okay, so zooming out on the euro, you can see prices near the 3 aces territory. We do have 1, 2, and a potential third tap. We do have this parallel channel of this descending parallel channel. So we're expecting a reversal of the parallel trend line. As you can see, it's parallel towards this. So we're forecasting that trend line in advance. It's just a scenario. And for those of you if you're not too sure on how to draw these, you just get the parallel channel indicator on, drag it across, and it gives you a parallel trend line. And we can see is in confluence with this particular structure here, right? This is where we stop it, and the median trend line is there's some action there. As you can see, look, break, retest, break, retest, break, retest. So it's a really decent channel. Now, it doesn't have to go there exactly to the T, but we do have multiple confluences. We've got the parallel channel, we've got the third tap of this larger wedge, and we have this compression, right? So there's lots of price action. So very high probability there's going to be a big push to the upside. But I'm still waiting on my hands until there's something clear and screaming at me. I do not want to be taking a trade, right now, or just there's just nothing going on. It's just equal lows. This equal lows is a good indicator that there's going to be a push to the downside. So we'll just leave that there, right? So almost ready on the euro. This can even go even further. As you can see, look, we've got 1, 2, 3. There's actually 3 taps there. So what we could do, this is a scenario. This is why we do have this banker block in case it goes even further. But again, we're waiting for the confirmation. I'm not catching a fallen knife on the 3 aces because the banker block is too big and I cannot redefine it on the 1 minute time frame, because if you look back, it's all the way down here and the data is not just going to let me. So when that happens, just wait for confirmation. And what is confirmation? Confirmation is pretty simple. We basically just wait for price to go towards this area, or this area. And within those areas, we just wait for a breaker structure, catch a QM with a potential pattern or potential equal lows, and then you just catch that trade. We're waiting for the schematic either here, here, or here. So that's the game plan on the euro. Very, very simple, but we just need to wait for it. So that's the euro. Almost ready. I'm going to set some alerts at this zone just to get me in the zone again. Aussie, quick rundown on Aussie. Let me see what's happening. So this was yesterday's analysis on the Aussie. I was expecting a 3 aces setup from around this area, which took me out, took a loss there. That was the forecast for yesterday. Got triggered in, and then it took me out. Fine. Cool. Took a loss there. So that was done and dusted. Then price developed into a new pattern. And obviously we got some confirmation. It touched the liquidity pool and the multi-liquidity pool with a combo of the imbalance and the banker block, as you can see here. So that was a nice little confluence. And then after, we got some equal highs in the pattern, and that's where I set the order. This again was covered in Discord. I showed you guys the entry, and that's it. The rest is history. It just started to drop. And what time was this? Around 7 p.m. I was monitoring it on my phone while I was having dinner and whatnot. And around these times, pretty late, the take profit I had here, that was my set TP1. My TP2 is literally just down here. This is my TP2, which is 11.6, which is not too bad. So TP1 was there, which got hit. And as price developed and it dropped nearer to my TP, I saw this pattern and it just gave me extra conviction to be banking some profit in. The remaining 20%, so 80% was banked here, as you can see here, look, 80% was banked there, 5.67R. The 20%, I trailed it just below the pattern down here. I didn't see the equal high trade management setup. Had I waited for it, my stop loss will still be up here. So, we need to be a bit flexible. So in the end, it did respect the boomerang of this pattern. You can see the boomerang. This is the boomerang. And we've got the fourth Elliott wave based off this parallel channel that we can see here, which has been moved. Hold on. Just double check. Do this again. do this, do this, and there we go. There was a few confluences for it to go along, so I wasn't surprised that it reversed, and I do believe there was news. I think Gabriel mentioned something about oral. There was some news yesterday, I think, and yeah, it ended up reversing. Very good exit, but with the BLT, there's a reason for your entries, there's a reason for your exits. Everything has a reason. You don't just put it there because of, you know, profits. I mean, look at the equal lows, look at the pattern here at the second tap of the parallel channel at the fourth wave. There's a good probability it's going to reverse from this. So this is why I banked 80% and I left 20% on the table in the event that it continues going south and it turns out to be a monster trade, which does happen every now and again. Obviously, it didn't in this case. So price is now obviously reversed. Let's go to the current price action. This, to be honest, I've journaled everything, so it's all good now. So what I'm going to do is practically just delete everything. Start again. Fresh new look. You have this current pattern in play. Wow, there's lots of room to the upside. This banker block, I'm going to delete it because it's inside of the pattern. It's not really valid. This one too, it's not really valid. This is done. This is done. This is done. Maybe something else. I don't know. Let's see. There is still a chance that price doesn't have to come up, you know, come all the way here towards this beautiful point of interest. This is where we just bomb it. When I say bomb it, just increase the risk a bit. But, you know, there is this pattern playing out. It's a bit of a pattern. So this could still reverse from around here. So when you have a scenario, when you've got this middle pattern inside a larger pattern, definitely wait for confirmation. So let there be some form of a boomerang. We can see that's definitely a possibility because of the banker block that we have here. As you can see, obviously this banker block can be redefined into something more aggressive. That's a little bit too big. So let's redefine it. Whoops. Let's actually go here and redefine it. Let's go to the 5 minute. And this is our redefined pattern. There we go. Even take it one step further, go to the 1 minute, since this weakens the banker block here. Look, this actually weakens it because we do have a valid banker block here. This is the previous move up before the break of structure, but there was a retest. See that retest? It weakens the banker block. Still valid because it hasn't retested the 50%, but it's just a medium probability banker block. Now, if we look at the 1 minute, this hasn't been retested, has it? As you see, look, previous leg down before the break of structure, failed the retest multiple times. So this is a higher probability banker block than the 5 minute one that I just mentioned. And also we can argue, you know, in fact, oh wow, here we go. I found something good. Okay, this is actually, it's looking like a QM. Look, left shoulder, untested right shoulder, right? Might even be clearer on the 30-second. Yeah, it looks a bit like a QM, to be fair. The shoulder, head, and obviously the right shoulder. So we can take it one step further and redefine this banker block towards this area, right? And just have a bit of a, just do a area from there. We have a really thin point of interest. You know what, let's actually do this real quick. There we go. Let's go to the current price action. 5 minutes. We've got like a larger 5 minute banker block, and we have this redefined 30-second banker block right here. We just combine 50% of that area. The 50% of this is a bit of a multi-liquidity pool. This would be a pretty decent area for that sniper entry. But at the moment, it does look like it's a little bit too far. So yeah, we just wait. I mean, this can still continue going up and forming something else. Look. By the looks of it, this might be too far. This looks like a plan B. The reason I'm saying it's a bit of a plan B area is because it's quite far towards it. Plan A would be somewhere around here. So there's probably some price action there that we haven't analyzed. So if we go to that piece of price action, and in fact, okay, here we go, look. Do you have beautiful equal highs? We cannot ignore this. So we do have this particular liquidity pool. This is definitely plan A. See it right here, right? That's the liquidity pool of the 5-minute chart. That's a very more likely area for a plan A liquidity pool. I'll be looking at some point of interest there. But before we do that, we can't, you know what? I could actually set a good order there. But because it's inside of the pattern, I'll be careful. But I do have a buffer to play with, a pretty decent one. So good point of interest. And if you're not confident, let it trigger. And then wait for that momentum, wait for that broken structure on the 1 minute. Then you look for your pattern or equal highs, or maybe there's a QM that you can catch. So there's multiple scenarios to get involved. And this trade here will be a pretty decent trade. So there's a scenario here. There is a scenario up here and a scenario here. And we also have this. It's a bit of a 1, 2, 3. You've got the 1, which is, wait, ignore that, hold on. Take this off now. We've got the 1. 2 is basically the pattern at the point of interest. We've got the point of interest at plan A. 2 can be here or it can be here. So let's just say here for now. That's the number 2, and your number 3, which is the boomerang 1, 2, 3, hence the name 1, 2, 3. This is your number 3. So this is our entry. Obviously, if number 2 here fails, this is your new number 2. As long as there's a pattern there, and the number 3 will be updated as well. So let me just move this back. So yeah, that looks pretty cool, to be honest. It's like a good trade on Aussie. So what I'm going to do is set an alert from around here and just get in the zone and look to enter AUD USD again. And look, we don't need much. I mean, I took a loss here, which was -1R. Then I made 5.6R, which is 4.6R. And this has a potential for another 5R. That's 10R in 3 trades in potentially 2 days. So you don't need much, guys. Yeah, bro, I have the same chart, but I'm looking at the 1 hour because it's clearer. Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes you flip between charts because it is clearer. I mean, it's the same thing though. We can see the 1 hour chart here. What do I have here now? You have this sort of pattern here, the scenario. You believe there is this pattern here. So you can see 15-minute. So this is why I'll rather wait for the 1, 2, 3 because there's a scenario here. There's this boomerang for potential boomerang. There's this trend line, further boomerangs, equal highs, liquidity pools up here, right? So setting an order here, I would personally recommend to set an order here if you have a buffer to play with. If you don't have a buffer yet, or you're still in drawdown for the new week, I would definitely recommend wait for the number 3. So yeah, that's the game plan on Aussie. Let's set. Cool, nice. Yeah, Euro's not ready, it's not clear. Aussie is just handing out pips. Dollar yen looks pretty cool, to be honest. This is a good trade that we took recently. And this pattern is still developing. So we're constantly updating it. Obviously, once if price rallies up, it's fine. If it drops, we update the trend line. We just keep on updating it. Eventually, it'll be in confluence with sort of this point of interest. what is the reason of looking profits? Or what is the reason for booking profits from the week to week and not month to month or year to year? This is personal preference picture. It's for my personal discipline. Like Gabriel said, it's for psychology. Everyone's different, you know, because I'm a day trader and I'm literally day trading, then it's enough data to take over for the next week. Looking at the monthly and the yearly, I don't really do that. I mean, it's quite common for me to go into a losing streak. There's times I've shown you guys my journal recently, and sometime in May or the beginning of June or something, I went into like a literally four or five losing streak or something like that. But obviously there's ways to handle that, which is you reduce the risk, then you wait for high probability setups. You literally reduce the risk until you start making profit and you go back up, right? But what I like to do is at the start of the week, I'm extremely disciplined. I'm extremely, very, very conservative. And I just pinpoint and wait for a high probability setup. And then once I take that setup, a lot of the times, 80, 90% of the time, it's a winner, right? Most of the time it's a winner. With that one particular winner, I've got 5 to 10 R of a buffer to play with, which means I can take more valid trades. I don't like taking valid trades at the start of the week because the valid trades, like the Aussie I just showed you, for example, it's actually a good valid trade. I'm not going to lie. I mean, this is like a 3 aces. Let's look at another one. I don't know. Let's just say there's a banker block here. Look. A banker block. You know what? What's a better explanation? So for example, if you take a valid trade with the BLT, the win rate can vary from 40% to 60%. The win rate is quite low. The risk reward is still pretty decent, but you can still take losses, right? And I don't want to start the week taking 2-3 losses in a row. It's just not good for the psychology. I'd rather wait for a high probability setup. Once I've got a buffer, then I can be more aggressive and take valid trades, because valid trades, they work very well, but there's times when they don't. So it's just personal preference picture. And it's good as well, because another thing is that when you've got a buffer to play with, you're more aggressive and you're less fearful, meaning you literally just take a trade and boom. But when it's a new week, this is me personally, when it's a new week, if I have that mentality and I'm fearful, it just backfires on me. You know, it just backfires. It's just me personally, my data, my preference. So everyone's different, you know, everyone's different. Maybe picture you could be more aggressive on a month to month, right? Personally, I do it on a week to week. So yeah, yeah, you're welcome, picture. As for Aussie, we can see, yeah, I mean, there's a perfect little boomerang here. This is really, really good because we do have 1, 2, and 3 retail are now short on this particular move. They're short. Obviously, we're expecting a stop hunt of retail, right? Which is actually a good thing. And we have this bit of a double top pattern. So retail at the moment are short, right? So we're aiming for the stop losses. So we know there's going to be a move to the upside soon. And yeah, exactly. I was just going to do that, try this, that double top that I just mentioned. Yeah, it's basically equal high. So they're going to get stopped out very, very soon. So that's the game plan. And if we, this could be our trend line that's here as a reference. And you can see it's actually quite parallel. Look, we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4th Elliott wave. We're expecting a reversal down to the, to the downside. So it looks pretty decent, right? So this is actually a really good point of interest for potential short. So I'm literally just waiting for the, you separate this so it doesn't annoy me. I'm waiting for longs from around there. Now, really and truly, we should be looking for longs. So let's look for a long. Okay. So first step is we'll start with to be honest, the 5 minute, the range on the 5 minute is still bullish, which is cool. It's okay, that's still bullish. Let's go to the 1 minute. On the 1 minute time frame, what do we have? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there's this scenario playing out. It's a nice little potential pattern. Let's separate this for now. And we do have these equal lows. Let's look for the liquidity pool. Oh, it's actually more than that. Really, it's this particular structure here, but let's average them out because they're really, really tight, that particular low. This would be the point of interest. What I don't want to do now is, this is way too big of a liquidity pool, right? So I'm just going to redefine a little bit and use these wicks as just a bit of a zone. That's the sort of game plan there. Let's take it one step further. Let's zoom into the 30-second of this clearer price action down there somewhere that we can't see. Well, okay, there's a bank level. It's done. And in fact, we can redefine this. Here we go. I'll rather use this liquidity pool. That's a lot clearer. Yes, you see what happens when you go on the 5 minute, it's cloud the judgment. On the 1 minute, it's so cleaner. Okay, so we got this as a point of interest. So dollar yen looks pretty cool. So this is a potential entry for a buy. Personally, I'm gonna wait for a trend reversal. So if we just follow structure around, we can start from anywhere, we can start from here, look, relevant low, break structure, relevant high, liquidity grab is still within this range, and all of a sudden we have a broken structure, relevant high, relevant low. We've got the bearish range, break structure, relevant low, relevant high, break structure. As you can see, relevant high, then there's a new high caused by this low, and finally we have a clear breaker structure towards, well, it's still kind of dropping, to be honest. So we're inside this bearish range on the 1 minute. Still hasn't really found the bottom, but we are within this bearish range. The aim is to get the range smaller because this is way too big. So what we do want to see is maybe if it continues trickling its way down like this, and then there might be a little push up, and then it continues going down, then a push down, then you've got a tighter range rather than this big range. So once the range is nice and small and tidy, then we've got a nice bearish range, and we just wait for that breaker structure on the 1 minute. Then we catch the retest and look for a BLT setup. At the moment, again, just patience. We just need to wait for the trade to come to us. I'll set an alert down here. This looks like a pretty good, decent potential trade for a long. Really and truly, I'm going to be entering down here on a confirmation. So dollar yen is still almost ready for a long. I'm just going to wait. And in case it doesn't go there and it's just invalid, I'll set an alert above structure and then I'll reevaluate. Okay, so yeah, dollar yen looks some good potential. So dollar yen's on my watch list, Aussie is on my watch list, and dollar CAD just looks pants to me, so I'm not really interested in it anymore. I was interested in this setup, but it's just moving sideways. And when it's moving sideways, just, yeah, this is no trades really. I mean, we update this. Maybe there's something I haven't seen. Well, this is done. We're gonna have to update this. It's more like a bit of a triangle, maybe an STT, but no, it's just not. Let's wait until it's crystal clear. If anything, there'll be a reversal from around this bank block. Since there was already a stop one of these equal lows, as you can see, bit of a spring, broke structure, and now we're catching a retest from around. So if anything, this looks like a good buy opportunity. This head and shoulders already played out. Let's redefine it. These are the scenarios where we can do a liquidity pool from around here. That's the same thing. Yeah, I mean, with dollar CAD, I'm gonna wait for confirmation. Still not really ready yet. Do you like these equal lows that got taken out by this spring? I do like the breaker structure, which happened in multiple time frames actually, from here and here as well. So now, yeah, a buy is definitely favored, but obviously, as you can see, it's still sort of developing. We still need to wait for this one. I'll reevaluate this pattern once it goes to the point of interest, and just in case, I'm gonna have this bank level here as well. This cheeky little bank level. As you can see, nice little bank level, good one as well because there's lots of momentum to the upside. So in case it doesn't reverse from this liquidity pool, multi-liquidity pool, then you know why. It's because it is bank level. So let's send an alert just above it. Not to enter, it's just to confirm it's touched upon of interest. Then we wait for confirmation, which is what we do all the time, over and over again, waiting for that breaker structure and the M1 to get mitigated. And then obviously wait for a QM and a BOT setup, etc., etc., etc. And zoom out again, always double analyze the charts. I say this time and time, always double analyze, just in case you've missed something. I believe we've got this, and I believe we may have this set up here. Oh, that looks quite cool now. See that? See what happens when you double analyze your trade. You see something that you never saw before. So now this liquidity pool looks pretty decent. Yeah, I mean, now to be honest, I'm going to cancel this, and just wait for this larger pattern to play out. Yeah, that's it. So dollar yen has potential as well. I'll wait for the 1 minute confirmation, and that's it. So there we go. Okay, cool. Try a UJ just wick below the equal lows and shot back up. Interesting. Let me see. This the clearest. It's not really the clearest for me. There's even these ones here. Wait, hold on. There's even these ones here that haven't really got hit yet. It's not the clearest. Rather wait for a breaker structure, which we can't do yet. until we get, because right now this is a liquidity grab, as you can see, look, clear liquidity grab. Once there's a few candles or a strong candle below this point of interest, then we can update this to a breaker structure. Then we can move this along and it could be nice and tight, but not for now. So yeah, dollar yen is almost ready for a long. So stay tuned for dollar yen. Dollar CAD might take a while. Aussie almost there. So yeah, that's it, guys. Go have some fun. How many monitors does Troy have? Apparently, Troy's got 18 monitors in his office. I'm just playing with you guys. I'm joking. Okay, that's it, guys. Any questions, or I'll leave you guys to it and we'll call it a day. Just the one almost blew my eardrums with the headset.
If anyone is trading live, remember CPI 2 hours. This is going to be very. Today is very important because next week is interest rate decision, so a lot of traders are going to be looking at it.
Yep. Absolutely. Thank you, Gabriel. And when is that news again? In 2 hours?
Yeah, I think at this 8:30 Eastern time. I don't know, UK, I think it's 2:30.
Okay.
No,
they've said half
1:30.
So half one. Okay. Well, cool. I mean, that's basically going to push our price down. So for those of you who are new to the BLT, do not be cautious or scared of the news. It's actually a good thing because with the BLT, we'll catch the news in our favor most of the time, like the majority of the time. So it's just volatility for us. That's all it is. So we need volatility. We need volume to get these big moves. So yeah, okay. Some good news coming up. Cool, guys. Trade safe. See you on Discord.